Alright, so I didn't want to waste your time. I know a lot of beginner YouTubers, along as mostly experienced Iron Men. A lot of players like to start out at Wintertodt, and that was precisely what I did. I made sure to have low HP so I could get really easy fire making levels without worrying about risking all of my items early on. And just kind of showing off all of my stats and quests. As you can see, I'm kind of a noob, but it is really helpful to go to Wintertodt early, and it's just such a common thing among Iron Men that I figured I'd skip the video portion of the grind. So, I mean, you'll see me doing Wintertodt very, very shortly, but yeah, as you can see, I got up to 89, and I think that was around 180 games. Maybe like 50 of them were solos, and then as you can see, the rest were in public world. I think I'm on 308. Forget what the main Wintertodt world is, but yeah, I did a lot of my kill count on public worlds, and you can see some of my loot here. I made quite a bit of money, and bonds aren't worth 3 mil anymore, but this is pretty close to the price of a bond, so I consider that pretty successful for 50 to 90 fire making. And public worlds are pretty fast, so this did not take nearly as long as it would solo, but it is useful to solo. As you can see, I got some of those construction levels just soloing here at Wintertodt. But yeah, lots of useful materials if you want to drop them over to your main, or use them even on your ultimate. I've had many friends tell me, regardless of account restriction or anything, that you shouldn't drop everything you get at Wintertodt as an ultimate. Try to save some of your materials. And yeah, there's the value of the account. Aside from the looting bag, you can see the those burnt pages are worth a lot. But 89 fire making, I didn't get the pet. So here you can see a little bit of what I was doing. I would stack up about maybe 5 kindling per run, and I drop all my cakes, make sure to dodge any damage, which was very hard some rounds, and I even died many times here. And yeah, here it is. "90 fire making. Feels good, man. I got 99 in RuneScape pre-EOC, so Wintertodt is just so much faster than manual fire making. So this was a huge surprise to me. Like I said in the previous video, I'm going to be doing some post-commentary just because the few early episodes, the mic quality was kind of poor. So I'm going to have to do some post-editing for that and post-commentary to kind of compensate for that. But I was just so surprised at this moment here. Hanging out at the GE, talking to some of settled CC members, just hanging out. And Jiggy, my man Jiggy here, offers me another bond. Whew. Jiggy the plug. Thank you, Jiggy. He didn't ask anything for it, and I haven't seen him online in a while, but big shout out to Jiggy. My man has helped me out with 2 bonds so far. And there's the noob Any Less. Hey, Any Less, congratulations on the Armadillo Godsword, buddy. So you can see I was planning on kind of following through with my name restriction. Initially, I had planned on dropping almost everything on the account except for basically Jad materials, Ranar seeds. And Jiggy came through. He told me he didn't even want to PK me for my items, told me to keep everything, and I really only planned on dropping not very useful but valuable items to my main later on, and Jiggy just solidified the account for me here. I mean, I have so many materials I can use without having to drop them over to my main and convert them into bond cash. So generosity gets us places, and I don't want to take too many bonds. I feel like it kind of ruins the account, but you can't say no whenever your name is Bond Economy. I feel like you gotta accept some and you gotta say no to some. But I was very grateful for this one. And here's LMS. This was my first 500k, and I was just super ecstatic that I was able to build all of this up. I had initially planned on converting that into money for membership as well. Yeah, I'm just super stoked that I have all of these items. And I think at this point I decided it's time for me to go to Nettles anyway. Yep, there we go. So I dropped everything over at Edgeville, and I got my remaining Wintertodt loot. So, yeah, now it's time for free-to-play. One thing you wouldn't really expect with this account is me going to free-to-play, but it has a very important purpose for the progression of my account. Now that I have 90 firemaking, it's not really so much of a big deal to hold on to low hit points. If I were like a pure PKer Iron Man, then yeah, I would definitely still want to be 14 HP, or if anything, probably 10. But yeah, I don't have to worry about that now. I can easily get 99 firemaking whenever I want it. So now my goal is just getting total level up using my materials and clearing out inventory space. So right now I'm making holy amulets, crafting the noted silver into bars, holy symbols. And yeah, it's some decent crafting XP in free-to-play, and even in members, it's just decent if you have the noted silver. Craft them really quickly, and then right over here in Edgeville, there's a general store that'll buy them for a decent price. It's not super profitable, but it'll pay for the silver if you're buying silver. And there's 777 total, as well as 50 cooking. So this is the part that I'd like to call the scuffed tapes, and I had initially planned on separating these, but ever since I messed up the 0th episodes, I'm just going to go ahead and include this footage. And yeah, there was barbarian fishing unlocked, by the way. But let me know what you think of the audio quality. It's going to improve in later episodes, but let me know if you want me to remove it and replace it with music or what. Alright, so we're members again, and here's the inventory before I ran out of membership. So here's the looting bag, and the ranars, some coal and iron, etc. And the goal for now is to complete Taibo 1A Trio. So I'm going to go ahead and use up my iron and coal, make some cannonballs to condense the inventory, and we'll make our way over there. Alright, so we're going to be doing Taibo 1A Trio for the Rune Spear Kronbon Poisoned, and I do have the levels for the quest. Unfortunately, I might have to get really lucky. We'll see, but I may just be grinding Herbivore over here at Chaos Druids until 34 for agility potions, or I might go to Tarns later. We'll see. But yeah, this quest is dependent on two things going right. Cooking the Kronbon correctly, which I guess I'll just go to Rock Range or something to ensure I cook it. And hopefully that doesn't burn, and then we need an agility potion. So I think it'll be easier to grind up the Herbivore level to 34, because I'm going to need 38 for the Ranars anyway. But yeah, I'm just going to make these cannonballs, and we'll get that started. Hey, and before we finished our cannonball grind, there's 37 smithing. Okay, so now that I'm done with all the iron in my inventory, I went ahead and converted them all into cannonballs. And I still have some coal left over, I'll probably just sell it. I'm going to make my way over to the general store, and I'm going to buy a hammer. And then we're going to make our way over to the sawmill, so I can buy a saw and some nails. And we're going to build a stash unit so I can store this beginner clues loadout. And I forgot I needed some oak, or just normal planks, I suppose, so I'm going to go ahead and grab an axe really quick and grab 2 planks. Alright, so now that I got the materials for the stash unit, I'm just going to go ahead and build it really quick. Awesome, you built the stash unit, and now if we search it, there are the items for the beginner clue step. Awesome. So now, I do have 90 fire making, and as much as I'd like to have a skill cape this early on in the account, I don't really think Wintertodt is worth my time. As much as I'd like to get additional supplies all the way to 99, I just don't think it's really prudent or in my interests, because the main item I really want is Ranars, and I can get those way faster than I would if I'm just soloing or even group massing Wintertodt. So I'm going to go ahead and exchange all of my warm items in, as well as my bruma torches, for my last few crates. And we'll go ahead and see what we get. I don't really expect much, but hey, you know, if we get a phoenix pet, that would be cool. And let's see. I think we talked to a Ignicia here. And I'm just going to hand all of them in if I ever decide to come back to Wintertodt for 99, which I doubt. You can always get the Clue Hunter gear again. Alright, trade in all of them. And let's get rid of the Pyromancer garb. Yes. And the 3 bruma torches. Alright, so we got 6 crates. Let's see what we get. And not really much at all. But, you know, we buffed up the cash stack a little bit, so that's pretty nice. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to the wilderness, sort out my inventory, drop a few things, make sure the looting bag is containing all of my necessary supplies, and then we'll go start Tybor One-Eye Trio. And hopefully I get lucky, so I don't burn the first Karamblan I get. Let's see. Alright, so the looting bag is now full, and you can see it's worth approximately 4.4 mil. I don't think I'm really going to need the pure essence noted. Some of these other smaller stacks, like the mithril ore, I can probably get rid of. For the most part, that's all I'm really going to need to hang on to for now. So now I'm going to go ahead and make all these herbs into potions, cook the salmon, probably fletch and sell the maple logs, and fish some food for this quest, or just use pineapples, I don't know yet. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the Verrucht sword shop right away, so we can get, I believe, an adamant sword, because that's going to be our best in slot melee weapon for now. And let's see if we can go get this rune spear Karamblan poisoned. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and buy an adamant sword. And I would buy the long sword, it does a little more damage. But the short sword is faster DPS, and it's a little more accurate, if I believe. So that's going to be great for getting our first few HP levels here. 73 XP remaining. And, you know, I know what the comments are going to say, you're ruining the account. Well, hopefully we get a smoldering stone later on into the Slayer grind, and then we can start earning some passive fire-making levels later on while woodcutting.
So yeah, we got the rune sword, and doesn't that look nice? So now I'm going to go ahead and get the Artie cape back, just for easy teleports to a prayer altar. And yeah, I get rid of all of this, and we're going to start the quest. I know I keep saying that, but it's going to happen now for real. So if you didn't know, or maybe you do, but you're not aware of this method, you can come over to Aman, or Cortan, whoever, right over here in Ardun, and it's the adventurer shop. Well, it doesn't say it on the map, but it's an adventurer shop. I think there's like a sign here that says it or something. Yeah, he runs the adventurer shop. So, I'm just going to drop all this really quick. If you didn't know, you can buy vials of water here, which is very convenient, but you can also buy vial packs, and that's what I'm going for, because I want them noted. So that's 100 vials of water right there, and that's going to save a ton of inventory space while we're making these unfinished potions. So now I'm just going to go grab that cape, go grab a super anti-poison. I'm going to make these potions really quick and drop them or sell them. Grab some more food, and then we're ready for the quest. Let's do this. Okay, so I just realized it's probably going to be a waste of time to go all the way to Draenor to put these Guan leaves into attack potions. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop them. They don't really give very much XP. But here we go. Our first non-looting bag related combat experience. Let's do this. Oh, the first hit is so good. Alright, so we're just going to kill 6 unicorns for unicorn horns. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to Koranja to get a pestle and mortar. Get back here. And then we'll have about 4 or 5 full anti-poison doses, which will be really nice because it's needed for the quest, and it's going to be just slightly more Herblore XP, which is really, really good. So I think I can go ahead and drop the feathers and the fishing rod. I'm not sure if I'll need them, but no, I'll probably just keep them until the quest is over, just in case I need food. So yeah, see you there.